Well, you're right, guys. I hope it's not too bright for you. Bit of a bounce back off the old bonce here. Look, those of you that follow me will remember how impressed I was with the LetPot indoor hydroponics. Probably the best I've ever used. And I like hydroponics. I like wicking systems, as you know. And I needed something else to grow a few more chilies in. And you probably know that Greenhouse Sensation have gone bust. And I wanted another one of their chili grows. I'm not paying stupid eBay prices for one. So I sort of looked around and I got onto the LetPot website. And they do a device called the Smart Modular Planter, the MP1. So I had a bit of research and I thought that's for me. So I'm going to show you all the bits of my MP1 Smart Modular Planter. I'm not going to unbox it because, I mean, it came in a huge box and you wouldn't see me if I put it on the table. So I've unboxed most of it. We're going to put it together, have a chat about it and set it up. I tell you what, from what I've seen, it's a good bit of kit. Right, and let's get the bits on the table. Okay then, I hope you can see all this. There's a lot of it and there's a bit on the floor still. Right, we've got two troughs. I call it the master trough and the slave trough. This is the one with the pump in it. You can, well, I can see it. You can just about see the pump outlet there, and it looks like there's a water level sensor in there as well. Hose connection and power supply, and it's called Smart because it's controlled by an app. I like apps. And this is the slave trough, and all this one is just a trough, inlet and outlet, whichever way around you want to put it. Now these can be configured any way you want. You can have them side by side. You can have the control one above the slave one, and virtually anything in between. If you think it's too big, you can take it apart and move the end along. And if you look at their website, you can even buy more modules, more end caps, more planters, and more of all the fittings. There's wall brackets for mounting it on a wall. There's radiator brackets. There's a stand, and that's the bit I haven't shown you yet. There's a stand, which I should be making in a minute because I want to put it out in the front garden by my window. And there's loads of bits, and it comes with 6 of each type of planter. Now this one, with the deep base, is the wicking type. So you fill that with your wicking, whatever you're going to use. I'm going to use clay balls, your wicking, and you fill the pot with your compost. Now I think I'm going to use cocoa coir with this because I don't want anything that's too claggy, shall we say, claggy. And all you've got to do with these is just make sure they are locked in place like that. You don't want them like that because they fall out. The other one, let's put this one back a second. The other planter, I'll show you that in a second. The other planter is just a basic hydroponics one. And these fit on the trough just like that. Now with these, I got to get this out of the bucket because the bucket's got all the spares in it. With the wicking ones, you need to add a spacer. Oops. Here we are. Get the tape off, nicely packaged. Here we go. Now, let's move that out of the way a minute. With the wicking one, like I say, you need to add the spacer because the wicking basket, it bottoms out, it's too tall. So you put that on there and it fits into the side rails like that. There we are. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do 3 like that and 3 hydroponics. And what I've done is I've saved some chilies. I've saved at least 2 lots of 2. So I'm going to do a habanero in there and a habanero in there. I want to see how they grow. So I don't know how I want to do this yet. Yeah. What else we got? We got a power supply. But I will probably be using my battery pack. But that's a UK power supply. UKCA marked. Brilliant. You got the bucket. This is the nutrient bucket or water bucket. You have the hole for the water to come out and a hole for the water to flush back in. I think that's the right way round. I'll check in a minute. We've got the rest of the spacers, don't need those for a moment. Oh, instruction manual. Real men don't need instructions. Filter, T-pieces, filter, elbows, a couple of bungs, connecting hose and return hose, I think that is. Yeah. Supply hose, the thinner one, and another connector for the supply. So, there's a lot, isn't there? I tell you what, it is good. I'm enjoying this. You know me and my gadgets. Right, let's pull that down. I think the first thing to do is build the stand. Now, it's going to sound a bit silly, but I'm going to build it here because I know exactly where it's going in the front garden. So if I assemble it here and then take it there, it will be right. So what I'm doing basically, it's going to be reservoir, control planter, slave planter, control trough, slave trough. Yeah, so water up, in, through, down, through the trough and back to the tank. Because, now this is another part of the story, I also got the LED light unit. So in the winter, late autumn, winter, this will be going indoors on my chest of drawers in the front room, and that's how it's going to be still. Okay then, the stand. Stand's going to look like that. I don't think there's any instructions for the stand in here. No, but it does tell you all the different ways of setting it up. So with the stand, on a radiator, on a wall, on a fence or whatever. So I'll put that to one side a second and let's see what we got, eh? Okay, so it looks like we've got a couple of shelves, couple of legs, some screws. There we are, stand done. Okay, well that's the two troughs on the stand. I'm just trying to work out, did I want the hydroponics at the top and the wicking at the bottom, or vice versa? And I think, let's get that. I think it's better the other way around. I think it's better with that down here. Because if it does get a bit windy, this is lower down, the tall one's lower down. Right, so don't need those for a minute. Let's get those out of the way. Okay, so we've got the inlet adapter. It's got a seal in the centre. And it looks like it needs to have a seal around the outside as well. There we are. Screw that on. Otherwise the pump will be sucking air, won't it? There we go. Have it any angle you want, really. Right, the inlet hose is in here. I'm not going to trim this just yet. So it goes through the hole like that. Nice and easy. And onto the pipe. Now, is that going to fit straight away, or have we got a... Oh! Right, that's on. So it's going to be something like that, but we've got a load of hose. So what I'm going to do, leave that for now. That's the inlet filter that goes on the end of the hose. I just leave it like that because I want to be able to take this apart to move it around. Now, I'm going to do back to front here. I think that's going to be about... I reckon that's the right place there. It's all about the outlet and the returns. Now what you must ensure is that return pipe just here. Can I do that like that? Yeah. Yeah. There's the return pipe. That must be higher than the hole. The return hole. Ish. Yeah. Or certainly higher than the water level anyway. So that's about right. Okay then, so we've got the tank, master tank, slave tank. Water comes from this one to that one. So what we need to do, we need a couple of T-pieces, but we need some hose. So, a couple of bits of hose, maybe 4 or 5 centimetres long. Okay. Well, that's a better fit. One there, one there, elbow in there, pointing down to that one. Elbow in that one. There we are, pointing up to that one. And a bit of hose to join them. The best way to do that is to gauge the length and that. Yep. A pretty good guess, yeah. Right, let's turn it round again. And we do the same again with the drain line. What I'm going to do this time though, I'm going to be clever and put the elbow on first. That's a bit cleverer, Steve, that is. There we are. And see that come off. There we are. I'm going to trim this just a bit. I want the filter on the bottom anyway, so don't want it dangling, I want it lying down. Yeah, that's filter in. And now we just need, I don't want a load of gurgling. So what I'm going to do, yeah, I'm going to put that about that long. I'll try and show you this in a second, just so the return hose is actually underwater. There we go. Look at the blooming bits falling off a tree. Tank's full of rubbish. Okay then, so there's the actual, well, the assembly if you like. All set up. I mean, that tree above me, there's dirt in the troughs already. Yeah, and I'll just show you inside the water, the nutrient reservoir. There we are now. So we got the suction hose with the filter on, and we got the return hose. And I've got the return hose underwater because I don't want that gurgling all the time, splashing. It's out the front of the house, and people will be sleeping next door. And when it's in my front room, I don't want to be hearing it either. So I think the best thing to do now is to get the power supply sorted and get some water in there. Okay, I'm not going to put too much water in because I need to move it to the front garden anyway. So I'll do. I got the power supply plugged into the shed for the moment, so let's plug it in and see what happens, eh? Ooh. Stupid Steve didn't take the bung out, the top one, did he? Here we are then, that'll be flowing down in a second. And here it comes. Into the, what I call the slave trough. So there we are then, flowing back into the reservoir now. Brilliant, loving it already. Okay then guys, I think it's time to do some planting. I'm going to put this out the front garden and we'll get on with some planting. Right, I'm here somewhere guys. I got 6 chilli plants, well I've got 7 actually. Now I've got 2 habanero, so one for the pure hydro, one for the wicking. I've got 2 basket of fire, again one of each. I've got an Apache, now that's a small one, so that's going to go in the hydro anyway. And I've got these 2 left, and this is a Macapichu. Now, it was a bit sickly, but it's picking up a lot now, so I'm going to use this one because this is an Onivec, and it's a little bit big, I reckon. If this don't pick up or grow in a couple of weeks, I'll swap it over. So what I'm going to do, first off, let's get rid of all these. I'm going to do the wicking system ones first. Okay, we got the special pots to make sure the bottom's locked in. And what we're going to do now is, oh, if I pick it up carefully, going to fill the base with clay balls. Now they've had a quick rinse and dried out. I mean, that'll do, you know, I mean, that'll do. Okay, a bit of, I'm using cocoa bloom. It's coir basically. because I want to give it a try. It didn't do very well in my compost trial, but this is going into a system that floods all the time, and the water will have loads of nutrients in it. So it should be all right. Let's get this out. Yeah, it's a bit claggy, this one. I'm going to take a bit of this old compost off here. Not too much. The roots are looking quite healthy, mine. Just it's very, very... Perhaps they can't get enough air in this compost it's in. Can't remember what I used, actually. I'll do. Just about the same height as before. Well, there we are then, that's one done. I'll take all three out the front and show you in a minute. Okay then, with the hydroponics ones, I need to work a little bit faster, so I'm going to get everything ready. So the labels, BOF, Apache, and habanero chalk. And I'm going to fill the tubs first of all, just a little bit. In fact, I'll just do one at a time. I'll do, because what we need to do with these, we need to wash the roots off. That's the wrong one, there it is over there. So habanero first. What I'm going to do, just tease off as much as the compost as you can, very lightly, try not to damage the roots. And then we're going to wash the roots off. Oh, that's heavy. We're not going to get all of it off, we're just going to free the roots up a bit so they can get in amongst the clay balls. But that'll do. Right, let's get rid of that. And then back with the pot. And what we're going to do, we're going to spread the roots out a bit. There we are, lovely. And then, ooh. Spread the roots out a little bit at the bottom. And then loads more clay balls. I want to work pretty quick with these because I don't want to leave them in the open air dry too long. Yeah, that'll do. Well, there's one done. Okay, this is where I got it set up in the front. Got a little power supply on there for now. I'll just see if it's running. Lovely. So I'll just turn it off a minute. Go and get the pots. So there we are, in the back row we got habanero chocolate, basket of fire and Apache. And what I'm going to do is match them up on the front. So Machu Picchu can go where the Apache is. Lovely. That is a basket of fire. Oh, excuse my head. Basket of fire. And finally, ooh, finally the habanero chocolate. There we are, look at that. Looks good, doesn't it? Happy with that. Let's turn it on then, give me a bit of drink. It's a lot quieter now the plants are in. Yeah, brilliant. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm chuffed with that. Looks really good there. And I just recharge the battery pack now and again. Well, I've got two actually. I'll run that one. That one's fully charged. I'll run it, see how long it lasts. It's going to be a couple of weeks at least. Yeah. I am happy with that. And what I'm going to do is going to leave it a couple of days and add some feed to the bucket. Let them get settled in before they start gorging themselves. Right then, now to commission the app, and I'll bring you back when I've done that. Okay then guys, before we wrap up, I just want to show you the app on my mobile phone. I can find it. We are LetPot. What you do, just set it up with Bluetooth. It will scan, and the Bluetooth name is, I believe, I've turned the Bluetooth off now. It comes up as IP something, or it could be a little L and a capital P something, maybe LP, LetPot. It confused me for a bit, but I found it in the end. Get your Bluetooth into searching mode, it'll search for it. Like I said, it comes up with something called, it's either IP or LP. I just add it and it pairs and all stuff like that. And once you're in, once you are paired up on Bluetooth, it's easy enough to reconfigure it for Wi-Fi with your router. Just make sure they're all pretty close together, the pot, the phone and the router. So here it is then, the MP1, and I'll click on it, show you what we got. Wi-Fi connecting, I'm outdoors at the moment, there we are, it's connected straight away. Little picture of it. Tells you what's going on, and it tells you that the pump is enabled to run remotely. The water frequency is 1 hour, and you can change all that to whatever you want. I've had it set at 1 hour because I wanted to get the media wet, so I'm going to change that in a minute. I'll just go through it all first. So we'll leave it 1 hour, and you can change the watering duration. So 1 minute up to, well, yeah, quite a lot. Yeah, so I had it set at 3 or 4 minutes. Leave it at 4 minutes for now. So it last watered about half an hour ago, and it's due again in another half an hour, 29 minutes. There we are. It's quite a handy bit of kit. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the water in now. Because it's a dull day, I'm going to change the water frequency to auto refilling. Oh, okay. And what that does, remember I showed you the little water sensor in the master trough, as I called it. Once that goes dry, it will pump around again. Let's go back a bit. We're on auto watering. And what we've also got again is we've got your garden, same as we have with the hydroponics. So you can just click on that and you can add plants. And I've got the habanero chocolate hydro, basket of fire in the hydro. You can search for plants in the wiki, and you can just tell the app what you've done really when you've watered, if you want to water, because this can be used for outdoor plants as well, not just the MP1. So you can add a plant easy enough. Just give it a nickname, tell it when you've started, where is it outdoors, where is it soil or hydroponics or whatever. So I'll leave that. I'm going to put more in for now. And you can just add records as you need them. You get a diary record. You can tell it what you've done, watered it, and put new soil in, and insect killer or whatever, taking cuttings. Yeah, it's quite handy. It's quite handy. Okay then, so that's the app, guys. It's got alarm settings as well. No notifications, and it's got the online store for buying bits and pieces. Worth checking that out. It's got a diagnostics if you want to send readings off to LetPot if you've got a problem. Yeah. Oh, settings. What's settings under that one? There we are. There's your alerts, your system alerts, and news from LetPot. Yeah, it's quite impressive. Quite impressive. Well, there you have it. The LetPot Smart Modular Planter, the MP1, in a nutshell. Hope you found it useful, guys. I'm looking forward to using it. I've got 6 more chili plants growing now, so I'm chuffed to bits. Look after yourselves, take care, and I'll catch you on the next video.